Hey y'all, and welcome back to the Foraging Family Homestead. My name is Ariel. I live out here on our beautiful 12-acre homestead in the mountains of Alabama. And living up here in Zone 7B, I spent most of my summer planting and being in the garden. And if you're anything like me, you're probably tired and exhausted. 'Cause I am managing about like a million things on our homestead right now, and homeschooling is about to begin, so I've been inside really trying to hone in the curriculums and all that stuff. There's just so much going on. So I just need quick, simple seeds and crops that I can just throw into the ground with the children and call it a day, and still enjoy a massive fall harvest. So if you're feeling low energy or you got a lot of things going on like I do, here are 6 low effort, high yielding crops that you can put in the ground right now in the middle of August that will practically grow themselves. Plus, I'm going to share some exact spacing and tips that will really help you while you're growing in your raised beds. So let's get to it. It's hot, I have so much to do, and I'm just going to show you how I put the thing and let nature do its thing. Let's go. All right, so if you've seen our channel, we got a lot going on. We have 12 acres and we are growing a lot in our in the rest of the property. All I have energy for right now is these 3 raised beds, and that's what I'm focusing on. All right, so first up we're going to talk about is carrots. Sowing these carrots late in the summer gives you the sweetest roots as soon as that cool weather of fall starts to come. But getting these tiny sprouts in August heat can be a battle. So here's a few things that we do. So I literally just open up the pack and scatter the seeds lightly onto the ground. Now this is already aerated. There was actually a lot of different herbs here that I pulled up and put them somewhere else. I aerated the soil to make sure that it was nice and loose like this. I spaced them out about 1 to 2 inches apart, and you don't need any neat rows right now. And here is the secret. So after I scattered all the seeds, my husband actually put this wet cardboard and he just made sure it's soaked. It's still pretty wet right now. And it's right over the topsoil, just as I just scattered the seeds with the kids, like literally. I really like the Danvers variety of carrots. I just think that they are super sweet and delicious, and they kind of have that like really nice medium length that's really delicious. Scatter some carrots in your raised bed right now. All right, y'all, we're in Alabama, we're in the South, and you can't have a garden without having your collards. Collards are the absolute king of low effort gardening. And collards are so wonderful. They're like a high reward fall crop. They handle the tail end of summer and heat and get amazingly sweet after that first mountain frost. Collards get really big, so we have to give them some space. But in the back here is where I put my collards, right in that area right there. So collards actually get quite big, so I space them out about 12 to 18 inches apart. And 4 or 5 plants are going to easily feed my entire family of 5. And I use the bottom up harvest method after I plant them. I just snap off the broader leaves for dinner, and then I leave that central stalk. To keep growing up like a mini palm tree, and then that way I'll get continuous harvest all through winter with 0 replanting. So I just want to mention that when my husband built these 3 raised beds, he built them so that they can handle all year planting. So the plants that we were growing earlier in the spring are actually nitrogen fixing, like our snap peas and things that will actually aerate the soil of our raised beds. Then we tilled in some more compost into these raised beds so that they'll be ready. We'll pull up these bell peppers and other herbs, and then we will plant some more. And then my husband put these hoops on so that come winter, before that first frost, we'll cover it with greenhouse fabric to make sure that all of our plants stay moist and don't get bitten by the frost. All right, so just like collards, kale is a powerhouse and practically indestructible in cold weather. So in this garden bed, we did the same method similar to the carrots. We just went ahead and put in some kale. So we spaced them about 8 to 12 inches as per the back of any seed packet. And truly, my children just came out here and just poked holes every 10 inches and then dropped 2 seeds per hole. And then I do the same thing as I do with the collards. I go ahead and harvest the outer leaves using the cut and come again method so that the plant can keep producing endlessly while I'm focusing on other things like homeschooling. Hey, no. Oh, you're actually pooping. Oh my goodness. Okay, get off. So I love beets because you get a double harvest from them. You get to harvest the actual greens, which are really delicious and tender, and then you have the delicious vegetable that grows underground. And the kids absolutely love picking them. They're one of those crops that are just really fun to harvest, and especially that bright, deep purple is just super, super beautiful. So definitely get your beets in the ground too. And beet seeds, if you ever look at the seeds, they're actually little clusters of multiple seeds. So what we did was the night before we planted, we actually soaked them in some water to allow them to get swollen and to release a little bit. And that actually speeds up germination. That way you don't have to stand around watering things all day long. And we also put the cardboard over it again so that to make sure that the area stays nice and moist, especially because it is hot out here. As you can see, the sun is beating down on me right now, but at least because we're in the mountain, we get a nice little wind blowing. So praise God for that. So my next one is radishes. And honestly, if you and the children and the family want instant gratification, radish is the way to go. They're literally the undisputed champion of gardening. Many varieties can go from seed to plate in a matter of 20 to 25 days. So I actually put some radish near our carrots, and I spaced them about 1 to 2 inches apart. I just put them actually in any empty gaps too in my raised bed. So all these little empty spaces, me and the children just place some radish seeds in there, and they grow. We've had amazing success in doing it that way. We don't really spend that much time in planting radish, but they pop up like crazy. And there's no meticulous planting needed. You can just broadcast and sow them in any empty spots and they will pop up like overnight. They'll choke out the weeds, and the best thing is that they'll actually start breaking up the soil too, which is great for your raised bed. All right, so now we're to number 6 of what to plant in your low effort August garden. And that is my top favorite is bok choy. This is one of the absolute fastest growing greens you can ever plant. Bok choy will go from seed to stir fry in a matter of 30 to 40 days. So this raised bed actually gets some partial shade, and that's exactly what you want for your bok choy. Hey babe, okay, can you tell us a little bit about the raised bed, since he's the master gardener, so I'm gonna let him tell you a little bit more.
All right, we packed this area where we did peas to be trellised. Then I put my heavy feeder row of kale next to that. Then came bok choy, and then came 2 rows of carrots separated by 1 row of lettuce. The lettuce grows shallow roots while the the carrots dig down, so they don't compete in the same soil level or column. And then I just put beets on the end because if they make it, they make it. If not, no love lost. And then I reflected it on the other side. So we should have 2 trellises of peas coming, as well as 2 different sets of carrots, bok choy, kale, etc. Now over here, we already have sweet potato growing here in the middle. So there's not much that I could put that would be outcompeted by the sweet potato. So I just put kale, because kale growing vertically can do well with the sweet potato. So this just has kale, and then peas on the periphery. And then this is just a reflection of exactly what we did over there. Now, why am I covering it with cardboard? This is just for the next couple of days so that I can keep that surface layer moisture while they're germinating. And so in a couple of days, I'm gonna remove it, see how the germination is doing. But this is just so that it stays moist while they're germinating. And yeah, hopefully we get a great start to our winter planting crop.
All right, y'all, so I am a homeschooling mama. I've been homeschooling for 8 years. We've been homesteading for 4 years, and my husband has a full-time job on top of everything we have going on in the homestead. So I can't tell you how important it is for us to work smart and not hard. That you don't have to work yourself into the dirt in order to grow good food. So go ahead and start sowing those 6 seeds right now in late summer and let the weather do the heavy lifting. Use some of these smart tips that I listed in the video, and make sure you hit that subscribe button before you go. Drop a comment below and let me know what your lazy summer crop may be. And always remember, keep your hands in the soil and keep your eyes on Jesus. See you guys in the next video. Bye. Yep, right there, right there. Okay, here you go.
Doctor.